Well, hello all you wonderful people. Just another short video. I'm trying to catch up with some things that I said I would do when I first started this series on new boat ownership. And today I am just going to do a video about the cost of owning this boat. I'll break it down as best I can completely what the first 6 months has cost me. I'll show you what it cost me to purchase it, the warranties I purchased, all the add-ons I've done, cost of gas, I guess upkeep maybe if you want to call it that, cost of insurance. So I'm going to try to the best I can to show you how much I've spent, first 6 months of owning this boat. And then also I'm going to show you cost per trip. So if you've ever wondered, is a boat a good investment? I'm going to say nope, it's not. But is it fun? Yes, it is. So I'll do the best I can to break this down and make it as short as possible, but hopefully you'll get some good information if you're thinking about buying a new boat. Okay, so here's what I've tried to do. As much as I could, I've tried to give you the total price. I didn't know how to show this on camera. I thought, you know what, I'll just make an Excel spreadsheet and we'll break it down that way. So what I'm going to show are the first 6 months cost of ownership for my Tracker Panfish 17, which I purchased in the middle of August of 2025. So I'll show you the purchase price, warranties, add-ons, insurance, DIY things I put on there, cost of gas, and then actually I'll break it down by cost per trip. So when I look at my boat paperwork, the price for the boat was $14,548, and I think they charged $5,000 for the trailer. And then my Tarova trolling motor was $1,472. Now that also includes a $200 credit for the motor they took off. So I guess the actual cost was $1,672, but they only charged me $1,472. So the total purchase price for me was $21,020. There was sales tax for $1,478.70, title and registration fee of $117, temporary tag and administration fee of $625. No idea what that's for, and that might be something you could negotiate with the dealer. It sounds to me like just an add-on cost that I didn't really realize was there until I looked at it today. I did buy an 8-year extended warranty on the boat, the motor, about everything I could. It was another $2,000. You may not want that. Some people think warranties are stupid. I prefer to be safe, and I went ahead and got that. I also did a ceramic coating on the boat, the carpet, the interior of the boat, and that comes with a 5-year warranty of protection for replacement if something should, I guess, fade or some kind of problem comes up with the interior of the boat. Again, I may have wasted $1,000, but I just bought it all. The one thing I didn't do, well, let me get that in a minute. So my total cash price was $26,240.70. I made a $4,000 down payment. So the total that I financed was $22,240.70. Now, my APR at this time, this was back in August, was 8.49%, and I will tell you that I have excellent credit rating, so there's not an issue with my credit. That was the best rate I could get. Now, what I found out since, I probably should have gone to the credit union. Never belonged to one, but from what I've heard, they have some of the best rates around, and after talking to them, I'm even thinking about refinancing, to be quite honest with you. So my total finance charge for this loan will be $10,840.70. So a total of payments, if I do the total 120, which I'm not, would be $33,092.40. Now my plan honestly is to pay this off next summer. So I won't carry this. That's one reason I didn't mind it, because I didn't plan on having a 10-year loan. I did that just to get the monthly payment, and my monthly payment is $275.77. Now my insurance is $182.42 annually, so I just pay that all in one lump sum. Now here's why I bring this up. Let me go back here to this front page. When I did this initial, all the add-ons I did, for another $500, they tried to talk me into, I guess it was kind of like loan protection coverage. And what he basically said, if something were to happen to, say, the motor, but not the boat itself, that the insurance may not cover that, and they would cover that with the loan. What I found out with my insurance company is, and I then went through Progressive, that this insurance is full coverage for the first 5 years that I own the boat. In other words, if something were to happen to anything, the motor, the exterior, whatever, doesn't matter, that I'm completely covered. So I did not get that extended coverage for the loan. In case something happened, I'm covered with my insurance. All right, so having gone through that, let's go to the next page here. I feel like I'm in some kind of a presentation or something. Here are the price of all my DIY, and I've got some videos about this different things. So I've got a 3-bank charger, the boat guides, the rivet gun and rivets I had to buy, the net holder, the 4-track set, rocket rod holder, 2-pack of rail cups, and 2-pack of rod holders, and that's all I think I've added. But the total for all of this was $440. So that's another thing you have to consider if you're going to buy a boat, especially this kind of a boat. And then what I've done through my journal is I've kept track of all the gas that I've bought. And my truck is pretty much just used for the boat. I may drive it occasionally if I haven't been on the boat for a while just to keep it running, but I really don't drive that truck very much. So I've included truck gas and boat gas. This is from August of 2025 until January of 26. February we had a deep freeze and I wasn't in the boat at all. So I mean, it's technically not quite 6 months, but this is, I'm into March. Actually, I'm into April now. So February would end the first 6 months of boat ownership. So that's why I've done it this way. So the total amount I spent for truck gas, and you have to consider that because you're hauling your boat to and from, was $203.70, and the total cost for my boat to run it was $36.80. Not a whole lot of money. This thing, and you'll notice here, like I had an $11 boat, $8.50, $10.30. This was all my break-in time, where I was running this boat for sometimes 2 hours solid. So on a typical day, I may not even run the boat for a full hour. You go to where you want to get to, you fish, you put down the trolling motor, and you keep going. So once I've gotten through the break-in period, the amount of gas I'm buying is truly minimal for the boat. So that's one thing that's nice about these little boats, especially about a 25 horsepower motor. So I kind of wanted to see how much am I spending per trip. And what I have in my little journal, I made 13 total trips. I've made payments on the boat through February of $1,654.62. I've spent $240.50 on gas. So for the first 6 months, I've spent $1,895.12 for boat things. And it does not include the cost of the add-ons. And then that gives me a cost per trip of $145.78. Now, I think a pontoon to rent for maybe 8 hours is $200. So while that may look a little high, I mean, if you plan on going out and renting a pontoon once or twice a month, that's actually not that bad. But there again, a pontoon would allow you to take your whole family, where my boat is pretty much a 2-person boat. So I hope that helps. I didn't want to feel like I was in a classroom, but I didn't know how else to do it. I couldn't put up, well, I guess there may be a way that I could show a picture of my computer screen, but I thought if I just printed them off and you could basically see the amount I've spent. I tried to be as all-inclusive as I could. I may have missed something here or there, but I haven't missed very much. You've heard the joke, a boat is break out another 1,000. I can't argue with that because I've put some money in this boat. But I didn't do this boat as an investment. I did it to enjoy it. I did it to learn from it. I hope to retire next year, and with that retirement comes a bigger boat, and I needed to learn how to haul a boat. I needed to learn how to back up a boat, trailer a boat, all those things. And so this is my boat to do that with, and I'm gonna keep this boat because the boat I want to get is 22 foot long. That's a center console boat, and that won't fit in a lot of lakes I'm going to be around, but it will fit in the ocean, which is where I want to be. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions or anything you feel like I've missed, I'll be more than happy to try and answer them. But I just wanted to give you a feel for how much these little panfish boats are going to cost you. They like to show a $190 a month or whatever. Well, I don't think so. There's always going to be add-ons. There's things that I added myself that I chose to do that you may not want, which would make your payment less. But you're going to be in the mid 200s, I would think, on a 10-year loan. And you can go shorter. You can actually, I think you go out to 12 years, but I just chose 10. So I guess this will wrap up this part of my journey of owning the boat. But I thought the first 6 months, especially as a new boat owner, it would be good to see what I've spent, how much it is monthly, and then you can decide, is it worth it, or is it better just to rent a boat every once in a while? It might be better for you to do that. I have rented pontoons, and it's okay, but I'll be honest with you, I prefer having my own boat. So for me, it's worth the cost. You have to decide that for yourself. Well, I wanted to add some of my thoughts after I've kind of went through the cost of the boat on things that I might do differently. First off, had I known just how good this cover is, and it's a factory cover, this thing is awesome. It's completely water resistant. The boat keeps the boat covered really well. Now that I know how good the cover is, I would not have gotten that ceramic coating, because in my mind what I'm seeing is a boat sitting out in the sun, and that ceramic coating is supposed to protect against that. Now granted, when I'm fishing, it's in the sun, but I pictured it more as a boat just sitting getting baked by the sun. That's why I did the ceramic coat. I don't think I needed that, and that would have saved $1,000. And then so I saved that $1,000. So my Tarova trolling motor was not quite $2,000. It was like $1,800 something when it was installed. So then it's kind of like I might have then just gone ahead and kept the 40 and not gone down to the 25, trying to save enough money to kind of make up for the cost of the Tarova. So again, hindsight's always 20/20, and I don't mind the 25, but knowing what I know now, that I can't put a modular on it, or at least if I do, it's not going to be what I wanted, I probably would have kept the 40, foregone the ceramic coating. And then the last thing that I really wish I had done is gone to a credit union. We never belonged to a credit union, and I called them a couple weeks ago about maybe refinancing our car loan and maybe even the boat loan. The rates they quoted were really good and sound like it's very easy to work with them. I assumed I had to be a member, so I'd have to put all my money in there, and he said, well, no, not necessarily. We may cut you a loan anyway. So again, I wish I had gone to the credit union before I actually financed the boat through the boat dealership. Now I will say, and the reason I did that is, at our bank where we have been members and we have all of our money in, their best rate was 9%. This was back in August of 2025, and the dealership got me 8.5% interest. So they saved me 0.5% interest, which isn't a whole lot, but they did save me some, and that's why I went with the boat dealership. Again, not even knowing much about credit unions. So that's the things I would do. I would probably forego the ceramic coating because the cover is such a good cover and it keeps the boat protected. I would have probably, having saved that $1,000, just added a little bit more and kept the 40, not gotten the 25, or the 20, I guess is what I was supposed to get. And I would have, I wish I would have gone through a credit union for my loan. Again, I don't know with a boat loan what their rates and what they would do, but I know I should have at least talked to them first before I took the loan from the dealership. Just my thoughts on what I would do different, but hindsight's always 20/20. So am I unhappy with my purchase? Oh, not at all. In fact, I am very thrilled. It's been great. I've enjoyed it so much. It's a great fishing platform for me, which I really like. Have I made some mistakes? I absolutely have, but you know what? I've never owned a boat, so I knew I was going to, and so I'd rather make mistakes when they're small rather than get to a bigger, more expensive boat and then make big mistakes. So as far as the boat goes, very happy with it. No regrets at all. Just some things that if I could go back in hindsight and do it differently, I would. So hopefully you'll learn something from my experience. So I hope by sharing my story, I can help you either save some money or save some heartache or headache when you buy a new boat. And I've got a lot more to learn. So, come on this journey with me. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. There's lots more to come. And I will just say thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.